All right, so we have man like Buggz in the building. How you feeling, dog?
Great. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Dope, dope, dope. So I do appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with us. We're just gonna talk about, your come up, the music, and all that good stuff. All right.
Facts.
So let's start off with your name. Like, how did you come about that specific name?
It's a childhood name that I grew up with.
All right.
I grew up
How did
with.
you get it?
True story, I wore a jersey that said Muggsy Buggz on it for the whole entire summer. Which is nasty, but doesn't matter. And yeah, people were calling me Buggz at first, but another one of my childhood friends said, we can't call you Buggz, and it said call you Buggz, and from there it just stuck.
Nah, that's dope. That's definitely a fire name. I don't know how I'd feel calling you Buggz. It's kind of iffy still.
Exactly. So it was Buggz is the name.
Dope,
Buggz
dope,
is the
dope,
name.
dope. And what's your background? Like, what kind of household did you grow up in?
Like my background, as in like where my family's
Where your
from,
family's from, like your origin?
So my mother's Jamaican and my dad's Trinidadian,
Okay.
and I grew up in a very loving but strict household. I didn't really come from much, but we made the best out of nothing,
All right. So, and in regards to the city, what specific part are you from?
Scarborough,
Okay.
Scarborough, McCowan and Shepherd, Pitfield.
All right. So like with the combination of, the household that you kind of lived in and the area you're coming from, how did that kind of affect you growing up as a kid?
Say that, repeat it again?
So with your household and where your parents are from and where you're from in Scarborough, like how did that affect your come up growing up as a kid?
I would say it didn't really affect me as much because I didn't understand what was going on as a child. But as I got older, realizing that we were poor or not as in a great financial situation like others might have been, it made things, I wanted a lot. And when I realized mom couldn't provide or, I couldn't get it myself, it made me want to go out and get it.
All right. So with that being said, when do you feel like you actually jumped off the porch?
11.
All right. And did you come from a household that was pretty strict where it's like, all right, don't go out at this time, come back by 8, don't play with that kid?
I was pretty crafty still with my words as a youth, so I was able to kind of finesse my mom. Not really, I don't want to say finesse her, but I think she knew what was up, but she just respected me on that level. Like, I had to grow up faster than the average kid because I was alone a lot. She was working all day, every day, so I had to do a lot by myself, right?
All right. And in regards to, you coming up, I did read somewhere that you used to be part of a dance group and you had uncles that kind of DJ'd and stuff like that. So talk a little bit about that.
You did your research, I like that. Yeah, I was a part of a dance group. Dancing's always it's second nature to me, really, It's like the music as well. But my childhood, if you weren't either a dancer or a baller, you wasn't really saying much. So, I did both. But at a point in time, dancing was like the only thing that everybody wanted to be a part of. But yeah.
Were you fire or were you shit?
True story. I think I was one of the best, but whatever. That's just my opinion of it. But I was good though. I was actually good. I still can dance now. So anybody want to challenge me? I'm ready.
Okay. Let's delve into the music. Like, I also did read somewhere where you said that when you started kind of making music, you did suffer from like a lack of confidence and like because you were kind of in the streets, you didn't want to really show your face. So kind of talk to me about how you kind of got out of that.
Faith. Just realizing that I'm not ugly, one, so hiding my face didn't make sense. Two, and that's no disrespect to anybody, but I just felt like my face kind of matches my personality as well.
Yeah.
So like hiding it kind of defeated the purpose, And I just felt like that's where I'm coming from, the streets, right?
Yeah.
Hiding your face, not being seen, doing things secretively. I felt like, let me try to transition into a big man thing and show my face. And I don't want to say not be so secretive, but just be more personable.
I hear that. So you know how you're saying like, coming from the streets, hiding your face, not trying to show too much. So like with social media, with Instagram and Snapchat, do you find it kind of hard to be like, posting? Because like as an artist, that's a big portion of like your marketing and whatnot. So as someone who's coming from where you're coming from, do you feel like that's kind of a struggle for you, or are you at the point where you're comfortable, like,
I wouldn't say it was a struggle. I'm getting a lot more comfortable with it now, right? Understanding the marketing behind social media, right? Because we're not living in a day where we're handing out CDs. We're not listening to MP3s like that, you know what I mean? So social media is key for marketing and getting yourself out there, and it's working. So I just felt, like I said, I had to transition into that to understand I had to see the bigger picture of what I'm trying to do.
No, it totally makes sense. And let's kind of talk about this project that you're about to drop. Who's this guy? Kind of give us a brief description of, the inspiration and how that came about.
The title of the project that I'm about to release, May 23rd, which is one of my best friend's birthdays, but the title comes from a typical saying that I feel like Torontonians use a lot.
Facts.
And also the inspiration just comes from the struggle, man. Just the struggle, man, and just the pain.
All right. In regards to like the struggle, the pain, so what can we expect? Is this like bar heavy? Is this melodic? Is this you going totally left field? Like what can the people expect when they hear this?
It's well-rounded, I believe, my opinion of it. I feel like it's very, I don't want to say the project is versatile, but I am versatile. So I kind of try to give you a balance of bars, some melodies, some melodic stuff.
Okay. And in regards to the production, like, is it sample heavy? Are you doing the drill thing? Are you doing the Detroit flow? Like, what's going on in regards to that?
No, I'm doing the Buggz flow still. I call it the Buggz everything. I don't know who's what, but it's just all me.
All right. Describe what that is.
Right here, what you see right here, live and direct, just me being myself.
Yeah.
Not giving excuse my French, but I don't care. We're applying pressure all year, like I said before.
Facts.
I'm doing it how we want to do it, meaning we as in my brothers and whoever's around me.
Facts.
This is my time or our time to shine. And you'll hear the flow, right? So I'm going to patent it and give me a couple years maybe, and people are going to start hearing the Buggz flow eventually. That's just what it is. You have to listen to the project.
Yeah.
Don't be one of those people, guys. If you're listening to this interview, go listen to the project. I didn't give you 10 songs. I only gave you 5. So go listen. Don't be a weirdo, and go listen, and you'll get what I'm saying. It's natural, and I don't sound like nobody.
All right. So, like, in regards to singles, like, I did notice that you released a track called With It or Not. Is that the first single off the project, or was that just a teaser for the fans to kind of digest?
I don't want to call it a teaser, but yeah, you could say it's a teaser, but it was... I didn't want to give this project too much songs because I feel like if you give it too much, people will bypass it. People will bypass the whole thing, you know what I mean? And brush it off and not listen. So I felt like I'll just release singles for now, give you a small body of work so that you're still engaged, like, you're still listening.
Yeah.
Right? So like I said, I don't want to call it a teaser, but it's like a warm-up. It's just setting you up to take me in.
For sure, for sure. Totally understandable. In regards to collaborations, you know, you've collabed with a couple artists. You've collabed with Portion, you've collabed with singer Breeze on a couple of tracks, actually. How do you choose your collaborations? And
Those are all family. So right now, a lot of people just know me off the strength. You know what I mean? So they're fucking with me off the strength.
Yeah.
Singer Breeze is my brother. Portion's another brother.
Yeah.
We grew up, you know, from the same area,
Yeah.
whatnot. So, yeah, man, that's how those connections are made, right? Like that.
All right. And in regards to your visuals, like every time you drop like a video, I noticed that it's very creative and unique. So what's the thought or the process behind that? Like, are you involved in that, or is it just that your team just putting things together?
I'm involved to an extent.
Okay.
So I would say in the beginning I wasn't that much involved, only because the cameraman that I was working with, he had his vision was very good. Mm-hmm. He knew what he wanted. He knew how to, you know, he knew me on a personal level, so he was able to get me in that zone. Mm-hmm. I started working with a few new cameramen to, you know, explore and build relationships. And as of lately, I've been part of the creative process, and it's because the cameramen that I've been working with as of lately, like Macadelic, shout him out, and Tango, they allowed me to be myself.
Oh.
And I don't, like, I'm not saying that the cameraman before this, but he was just more professional. These guys allowed me to be myself and allowed me to help with the creative process of everything. So it's a team effort. It's not just me thinking of ideas. It's kind of, we work together.
Okay. So, you know, I noticed something online, and you did something very honorable, where you kind of met a homeless person and you gave him a fresh pair of Nikes, put some money in his pocket. So kind of talk about that and what kind of inspired that, because not everyone does that, right?
That's just me naturally. I was leaving a studio called the Orange Lounge. Yeah. And me and a couple of my brothers and whoever else was at the studio with me, I was leaving the studio actually, and I was just, because I'm downtown, I like to be, my energy is different, just because, you know, the downtown scene is different. So I told myself, I seen a bike across the street, which I thought was one of those bikes that you could pay them and they ride you around the city. So what I was gonna do was, even though I was being extra, I was gonna make them drive me to the parking lot, which was 2 seconds away. But I was just gonna do it anyways and record myself and have some fun. Yeah. But when I walked up to it, it actually was not a bike. It was just there as a prop. And the people that I asked, I'm like, yo, where's the guy that rides a bike? They started speaking to me, and they said, no, it's this guy just uses it as a prop. It's just for the storefront. Yeah. So as I was speaking, a homeless guy was approaching me on I believe my right side, if I'm not mistaken. And he was engaging in the conversation as well. Yeah. I noticed the two guys to my left didn't seem homeless at all. I could be wrong, but they did not seem homeless at all. The guy to my right seemed homeless, but his energy and his vibe was just, I don't know, just something was different with him. Yeah. But obviously, I could tell that he was homeless. And then the rest is history. After that, I just said, how you doing? I started speaking to him. He started telling me, you know, a couple stories about his day or his night, sorry. Yeah. And yeah, I was just like, yo, what do you, like I said, I sized him up. I looked at him up from head to top. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, top to bottom, excuse me. And I realized again, like I said, he's wearing beat up shoes, stuff like that. And I remember that I had the shoes in my car. And I've been meaning to give them away regardless. And then I just said, you know what, let me just give this to this guy. And then when I was walking with him to my car, I gave him the shoes, and then while he was talking to me about his night, I'm thinking to myself, this guy's homeless. Yeah. Let me give him some money to go buy some food or something, you know what I mean? Fact. Shoes is one thing, but like...
money's another.
Put some food in your belly, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So then I just did it kind of like that, and that's just really what it was. But that's just me on a natural. That wasn't for whatever people think, that's just how I am naturally.
No, that's dope. And we appreciate, you know, when you do things like that, because there's people out there that need stuff like that. So.
And another thing is this. I believe us as like artists or people that have a voice or are on platforms that you're seeing us daily, I believe that we should continuously do that shit to motivate others to do the same thing, right? Yeah, because a word could encourage somebody. You never know, that changed their life, their day. You never know. $20, who knows what that did for him?
Yeah.
I don't know his life after this, but hopefully it inspired him, motivated him in some type of way.
No, I totally agree. Let's talk about Rolling Loud. Like, you know, the list is out. A couple of Toronto artists are, you know, performing on that platform. So what's your thoughts regarding that? Like when you
I love it.
Yeah?
I love everything about it. There's nothing I can't say that I think is bad.
Dope.
But yeah, like I was saying, I love everything about it.
Yeah.
Sorry for those who didn't make it. I'm one of them. Even though, yeah, I'm one of them. But, you know, it's all good, man. It's good for the city. It's good for the culture. I mean, I feel like it's a step forward for Toronto.
Yeah.
You know, in the music stuff. And no, it's good, man. It's a really good look. And shout out to everybody that made it on it. You know, sorry for the ones that are heartbroken. Maybe next year. But all I look at it is, if you didn't make it, step your game up.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts. All right, we're almost done here. I just want to kind of touch on a couple topics and then we can wrap things up. In regards to gimmicks, you know, some artists feel like, yo, they got to do the most online. Some artists will partner up with like a known female to get the clout. Some artists will hop online and diss whoever they can diss to get the clout, just to get to that next level. So what are some things that you're doing to get to that next level?
I'm working harder than I worked last year and the year before that. We're just gonna keep working. We don't do gimmicks. We don't do none of that shit. Everything's organic and natural and real. That's fake. I'm not fake, and I don't know how to be fake. So shout out to those who the gimmicks work for, but that is not gonna work for me because my heart's pure. Simple.
Okay, and in regards to like, let's quickly touch on that Young Thug Rico case. Like, you know how they're saying now they're gonna use lyrics to like prosecute artists and whatnot. So I just want to know what you think about it. Do you think it's right? Do you think it's wrong? Do you think things can be done differently? Like, what do you think?
Unfortunately, we're wrapping up this interview, but just to sum it up, I think it's messed up what's going on with Young Thug. I think it sucks that he was just speaking his truth in his lyrics and they're using it against him because all it is just an image. Not an image, he's just painting a story for you. You know what I mean? And he's trying to provide for his family and whoever else he's trying to provide for. So it sucks that happens. But the thing what I'm learning going on with this journey is that streets and music, they do not mix.
Right.
Unfortunately, but they just don't.
Dope. So with that being said, what's some things that you want to leave with the people, you know, leave them with your socials and tell them something that they should check out?
May 23rd, Who's This Guy? My project's dropping. I put my heart in it. I put my soul in it. Shout out to all my brothers. Shout out to my studio, Foreign Wave. Shout out to Dubs. Shout out to all my brothers. We're not going to name them. Shout out to all my sisters that take pictures of me and all that fun stuff and post me. Shout out to all my supporters. Shout out to the love. My Instagram is Buggz, B-U-G-G, 2 G's in my name. I can never go broke, Z.3. And I'm just applying pressure until I can't no more, you know what I mean? I'm gonna work my ass off and that's just what it is. I'm not here for no games. I'm not here for no gimmicks. I'm just pressure all year. Every year, for that matter. And RP my brothers, all of them, and sisters.